It took almost a year for this special examination into KSU to be complete. It details what the auditor describes as federal funds at risk, wasteful spending on bonuses, and basically a lot of question marks. Auditor Mike Harmon said he did not have a hands-on approach in the audit, but says his staff uncovered troubling information about the finances of the state's historically black university. But not everything could be accounted for because of what Harmon called records that simply did not exist. He said there were undocumented credit card expenses, including questionable purchases in Las Vegas and more than $9,000 spent at a day-long retreat at the Kentucky Castle. The state constitution doesn't allow bonuses with public money. Harmon said administrators received $138,000 in bonuses anyway. The audit points to problems with the previous administration. Interim President Dr. Ronald A. Johnson says changes are already in the works.
I assure you that we are working with great haste to ensure that the public trust in Kentucky State University is maintained, or essentially returned.
A copy of this audit has also been given to a number of other state and federal agencies, including the U.S. Department of Education, the U.S. Treasury Department, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Eastern District of Kentucky, as well as the Kentucky Attorney General. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.